Hello, everybody. Excited utterance here. My name's Hella. You can see over there. Hi. Ah, look, I'm just gonna have to mute you back there, Ilya, because you're making kissy faces at your cat, and it's kind of weird. Um, howdy, Johnny Osprey. How's it going? And a bronzed Aussie Laura. We have another Aussie in chat to be confused with me, because that's kind of what this stream's about. Aussies, or even any other country. Perhaps any foreigner who's not a US citizen being slightly confused about this whole situation of gunning down CEOs of health insurance companies in the street because you're that mad at them. Go figure. And we have Christine. How are you, Christine? And Melissa, my lovely Melissa. I'm sorry for ignoring you the other day regarding my PO box or wanting to send me something. Sorry, I'll get back to you about that. I trust you. I'd give you my address because I think, we're old mates. We're old mates. Now, hello, Glitters Forever. I saw you over in Pings yesterday. I did. Welcome. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Okay, so I put out a little note to everyone. Hey, everyone, hit the likey. Tell me your best, worst health insurance stories. And you're welcome to super chat them if you feel like it, just if, you've got some extra money after paying your health insurance premiums. Hang on, before I do that, though, I want to bring in my co-host, and I will unmute him. He was just being really weird.
No.
Dali, Ilya.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine.
Okay, I'm sorry, I had to mute you because you were back there going, oh,
No,
dear.
I was actually adjusting my camera.
Really? Were you? That was what you were doing?
Yes. I mean, I have my cat here.
You were going,
No. Now
that's what you were
No,
doing.
that's not what I was doing.
I had to mute you. Hey, half Irish. I'm confused too. Well, I half Irish. You're a Canadian, so that would make sense that you're confused too. Law Kong, behave yourself. I will tell you about something that happened yesterday or last night or whatever your time. Would have been this morning your time. Darling, later. Anyway, Law Kong, behave. Behave, right? Good afternoon, JC the Music Man. Hello. And Wicked Psyched. United Health is Obamacare. I doubt the CEO was deciding anything. Hey, now that's really interesting because I was chatting to my mum yesterday, and my mum is pretty wise. And she goes, I don't know why everyone would be so mad at that guy. He doesn't make the rules. And I'm like, yeah, but he is profiting off it. Right? So, I mean, he's kind of become a bit of a fat cat off the rules. So, You can kind of get that, right? And she's like, I guess so. But it's not nice to be happy about someone being killed. And I'm like, no, you're right there. It's not very nice. Not very nice, Mum. Nah. Anyway. So, what else? Is government insurance, why is everyone blaming the CEO? Oh, you just said the exact same thing. Thank you. So you agree with my mum. My mum over here in Australia. You love Pink's chat. Pink's chat is nice, isn't it? It's a pretty nice place to hang out. Snivels. Snivels is here. Good to see you, Snivels. And Beautiful Waterfall is here. Satchel, hey, that's you. Hit the link I shared above. It's got a cool image on it that will be good for this show. Ooh.
I'll have to look for it.
Okay, lovely. And what else? Glitter forever. Glitter is forever. UHC provides. Oh, UHC is Uniting Healthcare, right?
Yeah.
Provides all kinds of healthcare, not just Medicare and Medicaid. What?
Medicaid.
Medicaid,
Oh.
and Medicare. That's just one
Medicaid.
branch. Okay, sorry, I'm not familiar with all the terms.
That's fine.
Okay, cool. Hello, 20th Century Fox. Decent story. Got a fish hook in the arm walking the office dog on the beach. I'm the paralegal. but the workers' comp still paid for the ER visit. So, okay, so workers' comp paid for your ER visit, but did your private health insurance pay for anything else? I'm not sure I get the rest of it. Ilya, can you help?
Um. Oh, so somebody threw their fish line. I guess it went in to her arm.
Really? Ow!
Yeah,
That's
that
gotta
can hurt.
hurt.
Yeah,
And also potentially get infected.
that too.
You have 255 subscribers. You have, like Yoda says, 255 subscribers I have. That is so cool, Christine. Well done. Melissa Simok with a 199 super chat says, what type of healthcare do you have in AU? Well, that's a whole different story. And here's the difference, right? The biggest difference, because we have private health insurers. Yes, of course, they make a lot of money, but we also have really good public health care. So we get taxed for the public health care, and it's like a safety net. So anything that the private health insurers don't cover, there's always the public health system to back it up. So they have what's called a gap. So anything that is not covered by the public health system, anything that's not covered by our private health insurance is likely covered by the public health system, and sometimes there'll be just a bit of a gap that you'll have to pay. But like, for example, if I go to the dentist and I have private health insurance, I might have to pay a little bit out of pocket for something that is not like desperately needed. Like, I might need my wisdom teeth taken out, and the private health insurance might pay for most of it, but there might be some that's not covered. And there may be some of it that, like, for if I have to go to hospital for it, that might be covered even by public health, for example. But then there might be a bit of a gap in between it, and I'll have to pay for that. Because I chose to go to hospital for it, otherwise I could have gotten it done in the chair. If I got it done in the chair and I had no private health insurance, then that's fine. But I would have to go to the dentist that was just the one that was available to me, not my choice of dentist, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't know if that really explains it, but we have to pay taxes to cover the public health system, and then those of us who earn over a certain amount have to either pay an extra levy on top or get private health insurance. We might as well get private health insurance, right? So that's sort of our incentive to get private health insurance. So you're going to pay for it anyway, so you might as well get private health insurance. But it works. Like, we have a functioning healthcare system here in Australia. What bothers me is that when I see, like, if Ilya needs to go to the hospital, or if he needs a doctor, he will put it off, for example.
Yes.
Yeah. And that really bothers me. I'm like, well, why on earth would you put it off? Like, here, you can just go to the doctor. And you don't need health insurance to go to the doctor. So anyway, and then I see something like this happen, and the uproar from people is interesting, because we have this guy who's been shot down in the street, and there are literally millions of people who have a motive.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking you guys to help me get my head around, right? So we don't even know who the CEOs of our public, our private health insurers are. Did you guys know who this guy was?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
A lot of people online seem to have already knew who he was, for some reason or other, but they were already mad at him, right? So that I find really interesting. United Healthcare also provides private insurance and insurance to employees. Okay. That makes sense. I'm not surprised. These big firms, they often branch out. Yeah, I think I read he made over 6 million last year. I read 10. I
Probably
read
10,
10
yeah.
last year. My friend who works in healthcare says UHC is the absolute worst. Oh, I have a graph on that. I have a graph on that.
Excuse me while I whip it out.
Excuse me while I whip it out. Yes, yes, yes. I have a graph. Where did it go? Ah, here it is. There we go. Just zoom it up. Oops. No, I can't really zoom it up. Okay, it's the bottom one. Right, so it says UHC
32% claims
32%.
denied.
Yeah, claim denial rates by insurance company. So the top one says is Kaiser Permanente.
Yes.
Well, that's an interesting name.
Not to be confused with Kaiser Pineapple.
No, no, not at all. And then Oscar 12%.
The Grouch, yes.
Yeah, and better 14%. The
Well,
industry average is 16%. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, so the industry average is 16% of claim denial rate. Claim denial rate. So you put in a claim, and 16% of claims are likely to be denied. Denied. 32% of UHC's claims are likely to be denied. That's what
yep.
that says. Cool. So here's a question. Here's a question. Why is their rate so bad? Are they cheaper?
No, it. A lot of it is having to argue with them, fill out prior authorization, jump through a bunch more hoops probably, and they're just, you can appeal, and it's a nightmare to go through that process.
Okay.
And then like my insurance, even after I jump through hoops to get a new ADHD med, I still was denied. Although, and I have good health insurance.
So with them?
No, I'm with Aetna. They aren't even on this chart. Oh no, they are 20%.
They're 20%. Aetna.
Yes.
Aetna. Okay. So Rachel said, I had UNC about 10 years ago with my job and we loved it. The cost was reasonable. I have a feeling it's much different now. I have no idea what makes these things change. I mean, change in management tends to make a big difference.
Management, they want to start saving an extra dollar here, an extra dollar there. And after 10 years, it's an entirely different company.
Yeah. And like the economic environment obviously changes things a lot. I would think that the pandemic would have made a huge difference to the way health insurers behave. Good or bad? Probably bad, more than likely. Now, Claude Simeon, how are you? I'm lucky as USer, only minor medical needs and never had an issue with my insurance. Don't want to think about how it would be for anything major though. And see, this concerns me a lot. Like, I've got a couple of close relatives actually living near you, as of recently, and I've just like found out that the hoops that they're jumping through right now to get private health insurance through their employers.
Yeah.
And so they're uninsured right now, which is scary. So if you're uninsured, tell me guys, if you're uninsured and you find out that you have cancer, what's the deal? Like, how do you get private health insurance if you find out you have cancer? Like,
you still can on Obamacare now. You couldn't 14 years ago.
Right.
But then that used to be you had a prior help me out guys, what was the condition?
If you have prior medical
Yeah.
conditions. Yeah.
So, like, if you had cancer or had a hernia and you got new insurance, the
Yep.
insurance might not cover the hernia coming up. But now you have to sign up during certain times of the year for the Obamacare.
Existing conditions, yeah. That's what I'm
Pre-existing,
asking.
thank you.
Pre-existing conditions. Because so many people in the comments are all like, oh, I hope it wasn't a pre-existing condition, Mr. Thompson. Thoughts and prayers. And it's like, okay, that was funny like the first time someone wrote it. Now
Yeah.
like thousands of people have written it. And kind of, I shouldn't have laughed the first time, but...
It was funny the first
It
time.
really is a bit soon.
Yeah, well,
It's just a bit soon, right? And I should give a shout out to my mate over there. Hello, Truth and Transparency. It's very nice of you to come by. How are you? Now, I saw, Truth and Transparency, I saw you were streaming on this topic beforehand and you had some new information or something. If you want to pop on, you're more than welcome. Just let me know anytime. I did a Koberger stream just the other day regarding Judge Hitler and his likely possible next moves. And it'd be cool if you could have a watch. Fast forward past the first couple of minutes because my internet exploded, Australia style. It's summer here and this thing overheated. This is my connection. So yeah, it'd be cool if you could have a look. I'd love to catch up with you about it. Good to have you here. I can't even find her chat now. Where'd it go? It's here somewhere. Anyway. All right. So, Beautiful Waterfall says, so many theories about this, and a lot of people are praising the shooter. They're calling him Batman and Robin. All right. No. That brings me to something else. So, hang on a second. When the photos of Cutie Patootie,
nice
Mr. Oh, there it is, stuffing the show up. Hey, Lana. Yeah, when the photos of Mr. Cutie Patootie came out, right, and it kind of was Mr. Cutie Patootie because he's smiling and having a great old time. They were sent out by NYPD, and they didn't look like the shooter because had the wrong backpack on.
yeah.
And it was just very weird. Look at, there he is. Hang on, smiley face. There he is. A couple of us Koberger people have been like, hey, he's got bushy eyebrows. Guilty. Guilty. But isn't he smiley and lovely?
Aw, what a cute
right?
guy.
Now, because so many people were just like, take that down. That is not the shooter. How are you putting something like that up there, right? You can completely tell that the pockets on the front, that's not the same. Like, he didn't even have pockets. And he's got a black backpack on. The shooter had a grey backpack. Now, what I've learned since is, and I don't know when this was communicated, but apparently these photos were taken on a different day in the foyer of the hostel. So that's how this apparently is the same person. He's wearing something different. He has a different backpack. He checked into the hostel a few days earlier.
Of course, Max
There we
knows.
go, Max Mirror. Of course, Max Mirror knows. The top photo was taken a different day at the hostel. Can you bring that back up, please?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Halfway through reading it. Yep. He stayed at, don't know about the bottom pic. Well, you can clearly see it's at the hostel because it's the same floor and it has the same little
Yeah.
CT thing there. Don't know if it's the same interaction or not. And apparently, and this is funny, apparently he had his masky thing up and he was flirting with the chick at the desk. This is what the chick at the desk said. She said that they were flirting and having some interaction, and she asked him if he would lower his scarf, and he smiled at her, and that's what that cute moment is.
Aw.
How funny is that?
Uh,
Dude couldn't help himself.
damn straight.
Damn straight. Okay, so Wicked Psych says, I think people with other motives could have left intentional evidence to deflect. Yes. Ooh, thank you for the super chat. Other motives. We're going to talk about other motives in a moment, and why is somebody...
Vacuuming?
Not vacuuming, no, doing their lawn on a Saturday morning. How dare they? How dare they? Sorry, guys.
No worries.
Okay. So many theories about this, and a lot of people are praising the shooter. What?
Oh, no, you're fine now.
A lot of people are praising the shooter. Oh, we saw this. Hello. It kind of works like that too. If you have government insurance and private insurance together, like my son does, then they will use the private insurance, and what isn't covered will be covered by Medicaid. Okay, that's if you've got the whole lot, right? But is what I'm asking, I suppose, about this company is, do they just flat out reject claims anyway? So that's what I'm kind of getting. I was considering the workman's comp as health insurance because they paid the hospital bill, but yes, it's not exactly on point. I'm tired. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to play a video, and I'm going to turn my mic off for a second and get rid of this person out here. I'm just going to be like, oi, stop it, mate.
Just turn on your background noise.
Yeah. And then I'll read some more of these chats. Okay. So we have a recent video showing a little bit more footage of him, and this is from Fox News. So let's have a bit of a look.
The massive manhunt continues for the killer of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Brand new video that you see here shows the suspect strolling nearby the scene less than a half hour before police say he assassinated Thompson in cold blood. Authorities tell Fox News that he arrived in New York City on a Greyhound bus from Atlanta last month. Investigators say tips are pouring in and that they are confident that they will catch him. Alexis McAdams has the latest on the manhunt. Alexis, what are you hearing?
Hey, Kaylee, so I just got off the phone with a few NYPD sources who tell me they're doing everything they can to track this suspect down, including putting a DNA profile together. How are they going to do that? They're going to use possible saliva that was left on a water bottle that he threw out at a local Starbucks just minutes before police say the suspect killed a United Healthcare CEO. He also came in from Atlanta, Georgia, just the other week. Take a look on your screen. This is the Atlanta Greyhound bus terminal. OK, so now this comes into the investigation to lay things out in a timeline for people at home. So we're talking about him boarding that bus in Atlanta on November 24th. He takes like a 15-hour bus ride all the way to New York City. He'd been in the city for nearly 2 weeks, spotted at various locations, like at that hostel where he was caught on camera. I'm told he used a fake ID and he paid in cash, but hey, he forgot to hide his face. The morning of the shooting, he went to Starbucks. As I said, he bought that drink, threw it out in the trash, and now they're working on getting everything they can off that bottle. About 20 minutes before the shooting, the person of interest spotted again, this time walking toward the hotel. Then at 6:45 in the morning, people just waking up in Midtown Manhattan, including the victim, the gunman opens fire. He shoots and kills Brian Thompson. The first pop goes to his left leg, the other one straight to the chest, I'm told. The United Healthcare CEO was just in town on business. He took off on an electric bike, the suspect, someone that fits that description, spotted here near Central Park right after the shooting. You can see it there on your screen, goes by pretty quickly on the e-bike. Investigators say he also brought a backpack that he had on after the shooting and dropped it somewhere in Central Park. A message was left on the shell casings. This is interesting. It read, deny, depose, defend. It could be connected to ongoing complaints that so many people have about the health insurance industry. Back out here live, one other thing that this suspect...
You think it could be connected? Well, let's see. This book... There is a book that kind of sounds like it. This one delay, deny, defend, why insurance companies don't pay claims, and what you can do about it, by J.M. Feynman. Sounds a bit similar, don't you think? Yes. This government's not making it too difficult for them. This is not some rando.
No.
Act left behind Kaylee was a Go phone or like a burner phone. Okay, so he drops that before he gets on his bike. They're working to get prints off that too. So what I'm told is they're working hard and they're working fast to catch this guy. Kaylee.
Alexis, keep us updated. You know, Jerry, as we think about this, they know he took a Greyhound bus from Atlanta. They know he took a fake ID. But all of these days.
Wait. Just a second. Am I seeing things? Is that Barbie? Right there?
Barbie? Kaylee?
Is that Barbie? This
Kaylee?
one.
Oh, no. That's not Kaylee.
This one here. Look at her. Is she Barbie?
You don't think
Like, is
Kaylee
she-
looks like Barbie?
No, this one. Second one in. That one, is she actually made of plastic?
Well, I mean,
Look at her. Like, she's posed and everything. Like, look.
she's a female news anchor, so yes.
But, okay. Guys, seriously.
They know he took a Greyhound bus from Atlanta. They know he took a fake ID. But all of these data points lead me to believe they either know his identity or are very close to it.
Oh, I think so. Absolutely. He left trails of evidence like Goldilocks. If you can't find this guy, and I think we will in another day or so, I have all confidence in the NYPD to get that done. But I have to tell you, this is a major failure by
You have no
corporate
confidence in the
security.
NYPD?
And hundreds of millions of dollars are being spent every year to keep executives safe. But the reaction on the blogosphere is appalling, what people are saying. Let me quote former New York Times reporter and current Washington Post columnist. Her name is Taylor Lorenz. She says, and people wonder why we want these executives dead. So the executive in question here, Brian Thompson, insurance executive in the healthcare industry. There have been questions, of course, about all these companies, about what they're willing to pay and what they aren't. But killing somebody on the streets of Manhattan is not a way to resolve this issue.
I don't know. Do you think it might or?
Well, Taylor Lorenz still wears a mask 4 years after COVID, so.
Who's Taylor Lorenz?
She's a journalist who is known for idiotic takes, and that's the person who just took pleasure in the death of the gentleman.
Oh, okay. Now I'm catching up. All right. So, wanting someone dead is not going to solve our health insurance problem. Okay, that's breaking news. That's fantastic. All right. Currently, Washington Post columns Taylor Lorenz.
Questions, of course, about all these companies, about what they're willing to pay and what they aren't.
Why people want these executives dead. All right, so guys, help me. Do people want the executives dead? Or is this hyperbole?
I don't really know them well enough. I'm sure some do, a lot do. But
Okay.
it's still
But killing somebody on the streets of Manhattan is not a way to resolve this issue.
Disgusting. Likewise disgusting, Tom, is the fact that this killer went to Starbucks and then minutes later killed someone.
Guilty.
This killer, is talking to a hotel guard, pulls down his mask to flirt with the person, compromising his identity. That's crazy.
And
Yeah,
his
within
health.
minutes of this thing happening or it breaking.
I mean,
It's
he's
flu
a
season.
dude.
Well, yeah, he takes his mask down. I mean, that is so dangerous. What is wrong with this guy? I mean, we got 5 years to flatten the curve here. Come on, guys. Still got a couple months to go before we can, let our masks down. Not safe yet.
It's true, and he is a cutie patootie.
He is a hottie biscotti.
He's going to be an influencer
Well, from prison.
from prison.
online. A lot of people were saying this looks like a professional hit, and I kind of agreed with them. When you look at it, it's so shocking seeing this kind of thing happen in broad daylight.
Okay, I gotta pick up
It's
on
New
this
York
professional
City.
hit shit. No. Okay, this. Right. Now, I come from a country with pretty much bugger all firearms, right? But I've been hanging out with you people long enough to be able to watch someone screw around with a gun and trip forward and have to do it again and be able to judge that that ain't a professional hit.
Yeah.
Right? Come on now. Police. He was all over the place. Please. That was not a professional hit.
I mean, he was able to clear the jam pretty quickly. He had experience with weapons. He did not have experience with taking somebody out in a professional
If that's a professional, they got him off Temu. Like, come on. Like, Air Tasker or whatever it is. What do you have over there where you can just like...
Temu or Wish.
Yeah. That was not a professional. He didn't see the camera, obviously. I think he knew the camera was there.
It's New York City. They got cameras already in your colon, basically.
I think he knew the situation. I think he knew that the camera was there and he would be obstructed. I think it was planned out pretty well, but I don't think he was very good. Like in terms of, I don't think he's a professional like sniper or a gunman.
Yeah, like an Agent 47 or whatever.
86.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy seemed very calm, and then he kind of walks away calmly, you know, like Jason Bourne or something. And I thought, this is some kind of hit. But then as the evidence comes in, you realize this is not some professional thing. This guy was leaving evidence everywhere, and he was making all sorts of mistakes. He, the people talking about the weapon, his weapon jammed, things like that. So, yes, I think that, it's kind of gruesome looking at all this stuff online and then seeing people justifying it. Huh. And, and it wasn't Taylor Lorenz. Everybody knows she's completely crazy. I mean, she's nuts. But she's quoting people in the media, legitimate people, and they're all having a discussion. I don't want to talk about healthcare policy. A guy was murdered.
Tommy, the biggest outstanding question to me is this. The conference is taking place at the Hilton. You could probably figure that out. A lot of people attending the conference. But this guy's lurking outside, and most people would stay where the conference is. So how did he know Brian Thompson wasn't staying at the Hilton? He was staying across the street at a hotel and seemed to know his movements.
Yeah, again, this seems premeditated in that.
I think that's pretty simple. He's been staying at a hostel nearby, and he's just been watching him. Right?
Assuming that would be my theory. He was trying to get the lay of the land. Planning it for a while.
Yep.
And probably did some runs. In his defense, you gotta be prepared. Always be prepared. If you're gonna off somebody, you don't half-ass it. You gotta do it right. Okay, as my mama said, you always gotta do it. You gotta put 100% into it. So, yeah, I'm sure he, kind of meandered around New York City for a couple weeks. The most shocking thing is that he actually survived.
Brian Thompson's dead.
No, I was talking about the shooter.
Oh. Why would he not survive?
Because it's New York City.
How many people don't survive New York City?
It's dangerous there.
My mom went there. She came back.
In the last 5 years?
Hang on, wait. Are you telling me that you can't just go to New York City and come back alive?
I'm saying there's a ton of crime there nowadays. A ton. To the point where I would not go there where I would have 10 years ago.
Guys, help out, please. Is Ilya unwell?
Did I make a funny joke or not? Yeah. Ask Daniel Penny.
Oh, that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing. I almost made a dick of myself on Twitter this morning, and luckily
I
some
saved
people
your
come and
ass.
help me. Yeah, I was just like, oh, I woke up and I was like, oh wow, a judge with balls. Oh,
Yeah,
oops.
I was like, oh.
Oh no, and not a judge with balls. NYC isn't that dangerous percentage-wise. It's probably safer. Yeah, because there's lots of people there, right? So per
Yeah.
capita, there's only like, you know, millions of people being killed.
Yeah, just keep your
Yeah.
head on a swivel and
Keep your
Don't
head
have-
on a swivel.
Yeah.
Yes, old line. I did see Runkle had a good take on this guy. He's proficient, but he was not used to firing with the suppressor on. He was stovepiping his ammo. I actually watched that video. Runkle's got like 86K or something or more on that video that he made, not surprisingly. But yes, Runkle was not terribly impressed with his use of that firearm.
Yeah.
Didn't call him like a professional or anything like that. So, yeah, that's. I thought the guy looked calm as if he was a professional. I thought he looked calm though. Like, don't get
He
me
did.
wrong. Like, it's just the way he handled the firearm that I thought was a bit like, he could be better at that.
he recovered pretty damn quick for a jam.
Yeah,
Like he knew
yeah.
to cycle it again. He knew because he had to keep cycling it each time the cartridge did not eject on its own.
Yeah.
So, as an amateur, if your gun jams, my dad almost blew his finger off on a jam once.
Yeah.
So it's dangerous.
Maybe there are other motives besides insurance. I would agree with you, except for the bullets with the words on them. All right. So Ronnie, because of the fact that those bullets had those words on it, and the words are so close to the title of the book about private health insurers scamming people, I tend to think that it's too similar.
Either that or
Also-
it's a red herring.
Well, actually, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, you could be onto something there. Maybe he'll have more girlfriends than Wade Wilson. Well, wouldn't that be fun? Then Dali would just be in heaven. It would be
I know. Get his phone calls and
phone call.
Have 6
phone
months
call.
of content.
Finally, we'd have someone different to listen to. It just looks professional because the only reference most people have on movies. Yeah. Okay, so we'll just finish this, and then I wanted to show you something else about, because apparently he was under investigation.
yeah.
You might have heard something about this.
Way, but this feels like this person is a martyr, what they believe is a martyr for a cause. And the online chatter, to your point, Jerry,
Oh my
is not
God,
helping that case, making this guy even more of a martyr. I don't think it was a professional hit job, but I think it's somebody who thought he was doing something noble. And then when you have the online trolls backing that up, it just puts everybody in danger. The fact that there are some celebrating this, it reminds me of the assassination attempts on current President-elect Donald Trump. People celebrating it, making these people into martyrs. That's what's so sick and wrong. This is a father, this is a husband that lost their life. If you don't like healthcare policy, this is not the way to go about it, and shame on the people online for cheerleading it.
A father of two
Shame
young
on them.
boys. Haley.
And, you know, the alleged reference to that
You
book.
know what? They're probably all narcissists. The whole lot of them.
Book about healthcare policy that was left on those bullet cases. That's an important point because that's a book that proposes socialist policies for healthcare. And to Tommy's point, there seems to be a notable connection between the people who are celebrating what appears to be a deliberate assassination with the people who celebrated the attempted assassination of Donald Trump and the people who glorified violence on college campuses across the country. And you put all these threads together, and what is very apparent is that the political left has become a movement that uses violence and glorifies violence as a legitimate tool for its political goals. That should frighten every single one of us if that's the kind of movement that we have to deal with.
Celebrating an assassination before Christmas. Imagine that.
Oh.
Wow.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno.
Okay,
Catch me and
be quiet. Okay. It's just wrong, Ilya. How can people celebrate such things at Christmas?
I
And
know.
why is someone still out there with a motor mower?
Max Mira just sent me a link
what?
To something that he may have used the weapon. 1 sec.
Ooh, okay. Now, Scott says, well, getting an assassin internship is tough. Is it? Is it really?
Well, with
Is it
that
really?
energy.
Everyone's a critic. That's why I think the evidence left behind was intentional. Oh, absolutely. 100%. Like, who writes messages on bullets?
I do.
What do you write? Like,
Do you like me?
D small, D average, favorite. That comment about the camera was old. I wrote that about when he smiled in a hostel for the woman. Oh, okay. He looks like Rob Lowe. People are saying Jake Gyllenhaal. But I think, well, actually, when I first saw it, I thought that's what the suspect that Dylan Mortensen described should have looked like, right? So when she said mask, black clad, and bushy eyebrows, that looks like mask, black clad, and bushy eyebrows. That looks more like Brian Koberger should have looked, but no. All right, so yeah, where is he right now? Well, unfortunately, he's in jail. It can't be him. Okay, the conference was public knowledge. Yes, the conference was public knowledge. What did you want to show?
No, it's okay right now.
Okay, so now I wanted to talk about this. So the Department of Justice investigation into United Healthcare. So let's have a look. And I think, was it you, Scott, that gave me this? Thank you. Orlando says, the hotel across the street is the Warwick. I know the area pretty well. The victim only had to walk a very short distance. Oh, well, it was a short distance to the light. Sadly. Okay, so deny, depose, defend, latest in Brian Thompson shooting investigation. What?
No, hold on. Let me fact check. God damn it.
Fact check what?
Sorry. No. I just got tricked big time by Sean's Discord, so carry on. There was not a second shooting, and that link went to something horrific.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I clicked on a link in one of these before and I got rickrolled.
Yeah, I wish it was just that.
Okay. As New York City Police Department officers continue the search for the man suspected of shooting United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson dead, theories about a possible motive are circulating online. Thompson was killed outside a Hilton hotel, blah, 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 where he was due to speak at the healthcare company's annual investor conference. Police have said the shooting was likely a premeditated targeted attack. Oh, well, no shit, Sherlock. With the company's claim denials and Department of Justice investigation among the potential reasons put forward on social media. A manhunt is now underway as police search for the suspect who fled the scene. Authorities are offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. Does anyone find that $10,000 figure weird? I find that really strange. This guy's worth a lot of money.
Well, that's what the feds are offering, so.
They're cheap asses, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure it's going to only be if he gets convicted. And
that's like, what's with the $10,000? Like, he made $10 million last year.
Oh, yeah, and they'll tax it too.
Yeah, they'll tax it. There's probably some lunatic lefty who had to stop the evil billionaires. Distribute the wealth. Distribute the wealth. Rate 1 to 10, how clean was it? Oh dear. Even weirder, one of my events involves a medical insurance company, not UH Steel. Okay. This commentary is ridiculous. Oh, are you... Hang on, I'm too far back. Hey, Ghost. Not a Fed. I'm here for Dali's insight. Are you? Has there been anything enlightening yet?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Daniel D. Haven't seen you for a bit. 10K it's curiously weak, right? It's like, do they actually want to find this guy? Do they actually really want tips?
You know what's really funny?
Yeah.
Is that right after this, the stock went up like 1%, more than 1%.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
After the CEO was assassinated, the stock went up like $10.
Now that's curious. I was actually going to ask what happened with the stock.
Yeah, I haven't checked I'll check right now. But yeah, that day the stock went up.
NYC is broke. Why is NYC broke?
Oh no, it's come down quite a bit now in the past week. Or in the last 2 days. That's weird. Hello? Oh.
Sorry, what'd you say?
No, it's come down now, but for like the first 2 days it was up.
Probably free advertising.
Maybe.
I'm a bit surprised that UHC hasn't added to the reward. Oh, it's like you win some, you lose some.
Well, he's already dead.
What's it gonna do? Like,
Not gonna bring him back to life.
it's not gonna bring him back to life. No, I mean, we got our own problems. We gotta get a new CEO.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feds usually don't pay their rewards. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
They love to find ways out of it.
20th Century Fox is a new member. Hey, welcome. It's great to have you here. Hey, if you want to click through to the community tab, not community tab, to the member tab and go to membership perks, there is a link there to our Discord. It is a joint Discord. It's called Ilya Heller at the moment. Yeah, because he's called Ilya now. And if you are a member, you get the perk of being part of it. We have great conversations in there. We investigate cases. We share resources for our streams. And you get VIP notifications to all of our streams, both Ilya and I.
Yep.
That way you don't have to focus. You don't have to rely on YouTube's crappy notifications. And they are crappy. They're crappy. So make sure you go through and join us. That would be fab. Welcome. They used the Boston Bombers. They found the Boston Bombers so fast. Used cameras and social media. I'm surprised they're still looking for this dude. Something's fishy, guys. Something's fishy. I reckon they could have found him really, really quickly. Like, here's how I think they could have found him. If he got on an e-bike, you have to use your phone to get on an e-bike, right?
Yeah. And actually there is a weird, I don't know if you saw that one guy who was already tracking the e-bike routes for like all the routes of all the bikes.
Yeah.
For some project because he's weird. So he like found the route this guy supposedly took and gave the info to the police.
Yeah.
So like he was doing that right away. Okay, he had a burner phone. It just, unless that was debunked, but it's really weird that he was able to melt away like this.
Okay, so back to this thing with the bike, right? Mm-hmm. So you need your phone to log into an app to activate one of these bikes, right? Yeah. So how have they not already worked out who was...
In theory, he could have a burner phone with a brand new Gmail account, get the app, and maybe use a gift card for the e-bike service that was paid for in cash. Okay. In theory, it could be done. Again, though, you're setting yourself up for multiple steps and potential pitfalls, unless it wasn't or it wasn't a city bike.
It was not a city bike.
Okay.
The e-bike escape was debunked.
Was it?
What? 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 It is so hard to find like a definitive, this is what the latest news is.
Yeah.
Like, I've been searching all morning because it's 9 a.m. my time. I've been searching all morning for like a latest update source, and it's really difficult. Like, I'm looking through all the news outlets, and they're all just
really
regurgitating things from a few hours ago or from yesterday even. And then I'm trying to find updated to the most recent one, and they're just copying and pasting things from hours ago and putting it as being now. And this is what happens, isn't it, with a 24-hour news cycle? They have to keep posting stuff. Yeah, and so you're constantly getting the old
crap.
stuff plus a little bit of new things sometimes. So it's really hard to discern what's new.
Yeah, it is.
It's really annoying. It's really annoying. And Daniel D, you're back on board, Daniel D. Thank you for being here.
Wow.
Love
Good
ya. Love ya. You're awesome, man. Thank you.
Yeah, the 24-hour news cycle, I think, is part of the downfall of society.
It really is.
As Judge Borowski says for Facebook. But no, seriously, though, it's like all these issues started like school pew-pews. Distrust in the media, the political divide where we've gone from, it used to be you could get like 49 states and like everybody would vote for one party or the other party. But now we're so locked in, we're so angry, we don't change our mind. And that's all happened since the 24/7 media, or news.
Right.
Since the 90s.
And maybe that's why juries won't acquit.
It's certainly gotten worse.
Yeah.
I don't know what the solution is, but I just know that's the problem.
I don't know. I don't think there is a solution right now. I don't think there is. Let's say, so he got out of New NYC. He could be anywhere by now. Yeah, and he's okay. If he is that guy, right, that we saw, he's pretty normal looking. Like, there's pretty much gazillions of dudes that look just like that, right? Here's my thing, right? It's possible that this is far more complex than it looks, and there's decoys involved. Like, there's more than one person.
There was a second shooter, chat.
Yeah.
There was a guy on the pavement knoll.
On the grassy knoll. Yeah.
No, the asphalt knoll.
Yeah. What if? Because you know what? Like, let's have.
Was there a shadow? Was there like a shadow in the corner of that video?
A shadow in the corner of the
We need to analyze the video, chat. I'm kidding.
Okay, now hang on though.
There's lots of shadows in it.
I do want to look at. Okay, so see this dude, right?
Yeah.
Him. Look at his eyebrows. Look at the color of his face, right? Now him compared to him, they don't look like the same person.
No.
Like, they really don't look like the same person.
He kind of looks like a metrosexual. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Oh, people keep saying that.
Do they?
Oh yeah, that he's very feminine.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's just because he's flirting.
He'd be on Queer Eye with a straight guy.
Yeah. Hang on, but yeah. So, okay, so yeah, look at them both together. Actually, that's not that is the same guy, but there's the other ones of him, and this is so that's on the actual night, right? So with the real backpack and everything. I don't think that's the same. I think he hasn't got bushy eyebrows. It all comes down to the eyebrows, guys.
He
It's all
plucks.
about the eyebrows.
The first guy plucks. This guy doesn't.
No, this guy plucks. This guy
Oh.
plucks. Right? The smiley guy, he doesn't.
His nose looks different to me.
And his nose looks different.
I'm not going to say what it looks like, but
And
I'm just.
yeah. Yeah, I have this, I just have a feeling that that's not the same guy, right? And if it's not the same guy, two things. This guy here could end up filing a civil suit and making gazillions of dollars, right? Or
So you have
Or-
a feeling?
a feeling.
I just
Oh.
got a feeling.
Or they're working together, and there could even be more dudes like this that look kind of similar, that are like passing things between one another and offloading evidence and jumping on e-bikes and being like Spider-Man. What do you
Yeah.
think? I mean, the second one's more fun.
True.
Yeah. But the first
So-
one's also interesting because when NYPD put up that photo of Smiley Guy, and so many people got on social media and they're like, "You're idiots. That's not the same dude. He has the wrong backpack and the wrong jacket on. Can you guys not do anything right? And also take down that photo right now because you are in big trouble. You have got the wrong guy." They didn't take it down, right? Oh, hang on just a minute. We have a guest. Oh, hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hello. Max
hello,
Miller
what's
is
up?
here.
So what's up? Sorry, I had to do some stuff. It's morning here, so
No worries.
That's all right. You
Did you
are
get the
very
book?
not. What book?
I sent you and
Oh.
Dali talk a copy of the book.
Oh,
Delay,
thank
deny,
you.
and defend.
You
Thank you.
did. Thank you very
it's a
much.
PDF in your Discord message.
Yes,
I have it now.
I see it now.
Yeah,
Have it now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason,
and also a link to the gun, so you can get that for Christmas. Yeah.
Oh, I thought, yeah, I'm sure they'll let me buy it here. Okay, so the reason I wanted to just have you here briefly is because you know a lot about the health insurance system in the US. You were giving some great information in chat. So please
Oh no, I don't.
help
I mean,
me.
if you're in the States, you know how difficult it is. I just know that I live in Japan, and I used to live in Canada, also in the States. And I think if you're in a country where you have universal health care, it's a lot less complex. Hold on.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a lot less complex in a lot of ways. So that's why when you're reading these stories about disgruntled probably clients of United Healthcare, that
Yes.
it's kind of understood. You could have similar cases if you're in universal healthcare system in Canada or Australia or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think American system is maybe unique, and it's kind of complex.
Okay,
That's
so
what I thought was kind of missing, because you have to, for example, when I lived in Canada, you have universal health care there. But if
Yes.
you crossed over the border just for shopping or something,
Yeah.
you would go to the drugstore and you would buy 1 day or 2 day medical insurance, because just in case you get into an accident or something like that, you just didn't you didn't want to risk being uncovered while in the United States. And so
you can buy insurance for 1 or 2 days.
you need to. And
Right.
I talked to because if then say something happens, you don't have insurance, and then that's the and it's weird. Like if you say, well, you go to Emerge the hospital, and if they have that uninsured bill, it's purposely an unrealistic number that nobody ever effing pays. I don't know how and why exactly, but you'll get this, you'll read about these ridiculous numbers, and no one's ever meant to pay that, because then they have a formula where it gets scaled down depending on the insurance program you have, and in the US. And so for an outsider, it's like it freaks you out. That's why you have friends who are doctors up in Canada. If they just go for one day over, they're going to get that. They're going to get that coverage. They'll pay $10 at the drugstore, fill out the form, and they're okay.
You can legit go to the drugstore and go, "Hey, I'll have a day's worth of health insurance here."
Well,
Really?
that's what they have. I don't know. I haven't been in Canada for a long time, but back when in the day, that's what I remember. It was you do that. So it was just something you just kind of did. And except when I was living in the States on the other side of the border, then I was thinking about it and go, no, you don't have to, because my dad was at the State University of New York, and we're resident in the U.S., so that's not an issue. But so you become really aware of it, like if you're insured or not insured, right?
Okay,
But
so
that's in the U.S. It's in Canada, for example, though. If you're a Canadian resident or you're Australian, you don't really think about it so much, because it's not a question of, oh, you're not covered, or you have a very complex coverage program that you need to qualify for and negotiate for it. You're just basically covered,
okay, so help me out here. I have Facebook, and I have, like, for example, a bunch of comments, reactions to the shooting, and hang on, let me just show you. Oops. Oh, there's Minimax.
Okay.
I'll have to just fix that in a sec. So wonder if they put so much effort into this if he was a regular worker and not a CEO. Oh, my eyesight is really bad because my vision insurance was cancelled this year. Okay, because they're asking for the public's help identifying suspect in the Manhattan murder.
Oh yeah,
of
some of
United-
the tweets in response to the war, they said they use the terms that the insurance industry uses, like to deny coverage, and they'll say,
Right.
I'm sorry, and then that's the joke, because they're
Okay.
upset about the industry that tends to deny claims and makes it difficult for treatment, and it doesn't
Okay.
matter if it's like urgent or whatever. You have people, and there are lawsuits you can check. There are some recent ones, or there's always ones like that where they're going to be sued, unfortunately sometimes by the patient's surviving family, because they died, right?
Okay, so yeah, my insurance denied my ability to care. Definitely didn't see him ever. Hello, Brian. Let's play a game. What the hell?
That's from Saw.
What's that?
It's where bad people are put through horrendous, torturous games that they have to like mutilate themselves to survive.
Jesus Christ, that's got 311 likes.
Really? Okay, so they have a lot of they have a lot of hatred for the industry. So you're going to get all of these stories coming up. And I think United Healthcare is one of the kind of the I think you want to keep those margins high. I don't know the numbers. I don't track the industry, but I think they're one of the top performers. Which means like if you're a shareholder, you're like, yeah, keep those claims down and max up the premiums and profitability. So that's and the shareholders conference or the meeting was at the Hilton. It's right. Is it on Broadway? It's right along. I used to work near there, near Fifth Avenue, near Midtown. So I know exactly where it was, and then I know exactly where he went, right north into Central Park. Yeah.
Hey, Laura, good to have you here. So this is interesting. The amount of people that thinks that this was a disgruntled family member of someone that was denied healthcare shows the lack of understanding or research by most people. The idea that a CEO of a large company has direct control of policies is absurd, especially an insurance company. He is always answering to other people and mostly a face. If anyone should be held responsible, it should be the politicians that have the ability to influence what these companies are allowed to do. They are bought and paid for and definitely benefit from their influence. The fact that the CEO was under investigation for insider trading is obvious as to what happened. We didn't finish reading the article about that. I guarantee there was some very powerful people that was at risk of getting exposed. And the fact that the shooter had a 5-minute window of opportunity is obvious that he had inside information as to the target's movements. The shooter appears to be very well trained in handling a weapon. I'm not so sure about that. And is very calm and efficient. This was almost without question an obvious hit orchestrated by some powerful people. But the system seems to be working as planned. Everyone blames one person and makes a hero out of the shooter, while the people in power continue on with business as usual. Hey, now that's very interesting.
No, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. If you have a beef with a company, yeah, you will probably identify the
CEO.
you'll identify your service case personnel. No, you won't. You might, but you'll probably take it. Who's the representative? It's the CEO.
Yeah.
Go after
And
him.
if you're disgruntled and emotional and irrational to the point where you would take somebody's life, then the person you're going to blame is the CEO.
Could be an employee, a disgruntled employee, or
that's happened before.
Someone who's denied coverage. But there is. I got a call from this guy. He calls me all the time. He's 6 years old. He's American, and he's not listening to this. And so he always calls me with these conspiracy theories. And he is a moron. He lied to me when I first met him and said he went to MIT. It turns out he has a art history degree from some college. But anyways, so he's going, I've been talking about this theory. It starts with the Koof and Fauci and this is, and I thought, oh, okay. But this is the same guy who's been looking at the moon for, I kid you not, a month and a half. There was an asteroid up there that you could kind of see, but it's gone on the 25th. But he called it the mothership, and he said it's still there, it's still there. And so I kind of look up, and I see the moon. It's like a eighth or a quarter, and there's this bright light. And I'm going, oh, okay, what the? Okay, so I need to call somebody who knows these things. I said, which one is it? Is it Venus or Jupiter? And the guy said, it's Jupiter because it's brighter than Venus. So I told him, I said, look, here's the stuff. Your mothership. And he keeps on saying, you got to know it's a mothership. I said, your mothership is, it's probably Jupiter, not Venus. And if you don't believe me, then check your anus. So that's it.
Nice.
That's it. Not in network. That's what it. That's a comment.
Not in network. Yeah. Shandy Graham says UHC has many changes this year, one of which was they were no longer going to work with certain medical providers, leaving their clients without help, understand, and all their doctors. Oh, so some people were left like in the lurch, kind of. Sure. Do you use that term there? Yeah. Left in the lurch? Yeah, okay. So that could have left a lot of people very upset.
Basically, what they were saying is that if they liked their doctor, they could keep their doctor. And as it turned out, they were lied to.
Oh, better go for Obama.
Wow.
Oh, God, that's a 14-year-old reference.
You're not allowed to make those jokes. This is a joke. It was.
Bobby says, I know a guy who had MS who could have gotten treatment that could have helped him keep the function of his legs, but these insurance a-holes yanked his chain and now it's too late and he can't walk. What the hell? Really? Really? Yeah, no way. Okay, see, that's what I wanted to know, guys, right? So this is why I wanted to understand how people could be so angry at this dude. And I understand what this commenter here on Facebook saying. This is the more like logical approach. Oh, why blame him? He's not the one who makes the laws. But when people are angry and emotional, why?
Yeah, but what the person is saying there is logic. The person is saying we're saying, oh, it's kind of the conspiracy thing, and he's getting taken out because he was under investigation for insider trading and things like that, and so they're saying, okay, it's at that level. I don't think so. And so they're saying he's like a professionally trained hitman.
Well, yeah.
And I don't think he's
insider trading. If only he was a member of Congress,
Who?
then he'd be fine.
Oh yeah,
if he was. But I mean,
He did
he
attract-
was, well, he's accused of insider trading, and he had to answer to the DOJ.
Not anymore.
Well, oh well.
And that's what you get when you hire my buddy over here.
Yeah.
1966.
So I mean, it's a fair theory. Like what this person here is putting forth is a fine theory, but and this is kind of what this whole stream is about. There's so many other potential motives from so many people. Like imagine being somebody who literally millions of people would like to gun down.
Imagine
right?
Fauci.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah. Imagine
No, there's a joke where they said the NYPD or whatever the reports this morning said they tracked him through Central Park. He took the e-bike through Central Park, and they think he got on a bus at a bus terminal after exiting the park. But they're not sure where he's going. But the two possible routes are going back to Atlanta or Washington, D.C. So then people think, oh, yeah, well, keep on going, get Fauci or something. And I was like, okay, this is getting kind of sick. And
wow. Yeah, I mean,
and I'm not making those jokes. That I'm saying that was the kind of the black humor that's going around.
I mean, on this channel, we laugh at all sorts of things, and I'm not like, I don't know this situation well enough to joke about it, to be honest. But I just find it really curious that people who would usually a mainstream response to something is not to joke about someone dying.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, that's not usually okay. So, yeah, I just wanted to look at Beautiful's comment here.
Usually they do. I mean, the people who hate Trump, they couldn't get enough of it, you know.
Oh yeah.
Both with sincere wishes that they wish the bullet hadn't missed, and normally you'd get, you know, but you know, people go, oh, that you're allowed to do that. And yeah, I mean, I had this guy. He's a former professional athlete, and he's from Miami, and he's 72 now. And he would, I don't know why he calls me on stuff, and he was going on he started on going, I wish the bullet hadn't missed, and trust me, someone's going to get him. And I kind of had to stop. I said, dude, that's the kind of a crime, making threats against, you know, a president-elect or vice president or president. And I don't care. And he was, it was really weird. And I always troll him though. So I can't remember what I sent him. I think I sent him one of those posters, like those British posters. He was messaging me on iMessage, and it was like something like "calm down, stupidity is incurable" or something like that. And then he said, "Okay, this is it. I'm never going to call you. I kick people out of my life on this, and yeah, whatever." And which is fine because he usually bothers me. So I just kind of haven't gotten a call.
What a shame!
Good. But he was angry. He was angry, and you know, he's consistently, and it's kind of funny because he's a pretty big guy. He used to be a really good hitter. Like he played for the Montreal Expos, and he played for the Yomiuri Giants in Japan. Yeah. Oh, now you know who he is. Yeah. But
Beautiful Wonderful says that's one theory there. Yep, it's entirely possible it's related to the stock dump, especially considering Thomas was going to the investors meeting that day. Stock dump, hey? All right. Online says he was under investigation for stock sales. Also of note, they had a massive hack of hundreds of millions of patient records in February this year. Oh, I haven't heard about that.
Oh.
That's news. Did you know about that, guys?
No.
Hack of hundreds of millions of patient records in February.
Patent records. Or did she mean patient?
I think she means patient records.
Patient.
Okay.
Hundreds of millions of patient records in February. Wow. Kathy's a bit of a fan. Real Max again discussing facts. In my opinion, what happened in Manhattan. Kathy's cool. He was in NY for 10 days before the shooting. Yeah, he was just sightseeing.
Yeah.
I'm sure, did a bit of skating. There's a bit of skating there, isn't
Went
there?
to the Empire State Building.
This time of year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Took some selfies. I love how they keep trying to say the public is stupid as if it matters. Stupid people with a bone to pick still hurt badly. Yeah, that's what I was getting at before, right? So it might be stupid to think that this guy is responsible for their loved ones not receiving their health care, like personally responsible. Doesn't mean that you don't hate the fact that he's profiting from that. Like you see him walking around in his designer suit.
Yeah.
Oh, stop it, Kathy.
Okay.
I wonder if
The
You found
hacking
it?
group in February,
yeah,
it's called ALF or Black Cat. So it's
Alf used to eat cats.
yeah, it's spelled
Oh.
differently. I'm just wondering if, and I don't know whether it was ransomware or whatever, but there was a ransomware attack that they did last year, and so the subsidiary of United Health Group, they paid $22 million in ransom to recover the data, and then okay. Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe there was
There was ransom.
Ransomware.
Oh, this
ransom. Yeah.
ransomware. This is getting even more interesting. Hey, Young says, I wonder if the comments would change if we find out the shooter owns stocks of UHC and is upset the CEO sold stocks before he knew and was able to sell. Oh, that would change things. It's just some greedy shareholder that's pissed off. Yeah, right. I don't think so.
Maybe he's a
United
congressman.
Healthcare website. United Health Group to host its annual investor conference for analysts and institutional investors in New York City on Wednesday, December 4, 2024, beginning at 8 a.m. Now, hang on a minute. What date is it for you guys? So did that happen? Oh, that was
that
what
was
he was
2
there
days
for.
ago. I think that was, yeah.
That was why he was there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That morning. It was like 6:45 a.m.
right. And apparently the shooter went and got Starbucks, and and he threw out his coffee cup, and they're going to try and get DNA from that.
Okay, so the photograph of what they got at the hostel was this. He wasn't showing off or he wasn't being reckless. You have like, I don't know, maybe 10,000 cameras all around, and he was being very careful. He was wearing the mask. However, he was saying that he was using a fake ID, a New Jersey ID or something like that. But the clerk they said that she was flirting, or maybe one of the rules. They said, I need to see your face just to match it, and was being friendly. So they said, oh, okay. And he was probably conscious of cameras, but he didn't realize the one that got him on the side, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they were going through tons of stuff on this guy, and they got those one or two shots.
The case is cracked. We just have to find out what name he gave for this coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done.
Almost there.
Funny. That would be hilarious if it was if that you forget your cover and
yeah.
And you're like, hang on,
Brian.
take that back.
I mean,
Brian.
Dave. Not Brian. I'm not Brian. I'm Dave.
Not Brian.
Damn it. And they're like, Dave.
Foiled.
Dave. Oh, that's me.
No. Yeah. Oh, sorry. No, Brian. Oh, sorry, Dave.
He might not have gotten coffee. He might have bought water, because they said something about a smudged fingerprint off a water bottle, and I don't know if the water bottle he got at Starbucks or whatever. But
Beautiful Waterfall says, a friend of mine died because he was denied an expensive life-saving cancer treatment. Oh my God, beautiful. See, this shits me. It absolutely shits me that in your country, a first world country, supposedly the greatest country in the world, or one of them, people are dying because they can't get life-saving treatments because they can't afford them. How ridiculous is that? Something has to be done about this. And shooting up CEOs of insurance companies, unfortunately, is not going to help. Will it? Maybe. This is the next thing, right? So there's been all this backlash and people talking about, oh, well, so sorry, not sorry. And then there's Brian Thompson killing sparks outrage over state of US healthcare. So is this actually going to spark some discussion in your Congress about the state of healthcare?
Nope.
No.
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 I mean, no more than there
no.
normally is.
No more than there normally is. Yeah. Okay. So I can't believe that you guys just don't have basic public health care free for everybody who needs it. If you are a cancer patient, that you should be able to go to hospital and get treated for cancer for free, no matter what.
They have to give you some kind of treatment.
Do they?
Yeah. And there's the emergency room. They can't turn you out. So you can go to the hospital.
But do you get a bill later?
Technically, yeah.
Mm. So
But most people can't pay it, so
I just don't. I say if there's any way you can pay it, you're going to have to pay it, right? So, like, if they'll find a way to get the money out of you, right?
Unless you do like bankruptcy or you're an illegal alien, then that's another big problem. Is that the undocumented migrants will just go to a hospital because they get free healthcare, basically.
Or if you have people who are indigent anyways, there's some certain rules about emergency. So even though they technically you should go to outpatient, they go to emerge, which crowds it up unnecessarily, and then you get this billing that they don't ever intend to pay. And at the same point, the hospital understands that. Well, they don't understand it. It drives up their costs. So you got this weird, stupid system. So it makes it so they're obliged to treat you. It F's up the ER. It impacts everyone else who actually needs emergency care, and it's a loophole that everyone abuses. Not everyone, but the poor abuse, and in a weird way they'll argue, well, we have no other choice. Yeah.
Okay, so Robin Hood's saying United is also the first American health insurance company to use large models and AI to build deterministic, not probabilistic health models. Using the AI to deny people's claims is kind of sus. Okay, so if I understand what you're saying, are they kind of doing like some of the other like non-healthcare companies are doing, in that they're using sort of AI bots to answer your questions, work out whether or not you qualify for certain things, and then talking to you? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think she's saying they're using AI and large models to build deterministic, not probabilistic health models. So they're using AI to find the most accurate way of what to deny coverage for. To save them the most money.
So
you don't need that test. I don't care what you and your physician even might be concerned about, but our model says there's no risk. Or extending to treatments and things like that. Or in the worst case, as we have with AI, it's really not that a complex model. It's actually Indian AI. So it's like that. It's like that virtual shopping thing where you're supposed to walking around with the AI, so it's supposed to see what you do and bill you. But actually, they had all these cameras and they had call center people looking through, and Indian.
Oh,
people,
really?
Indians, yeah. And so
Oh, so it wasn't even
it
software.
was totally faked AI, and called it actually Indian. Yeah. Thank you
Wow,
for the
okay.
question again.
So if I can read into this a little bit, I mean, firstly, employing AI makes it cheaper, obviously, because you don't have to hire people. But secondly, it would mean that you take away the potential for people who are working for you to feel sorry for the people calling in making claims, right? So you take out the human factor, and it's less likely that your employees are going to be swayed by sob stories, right? And go, yeah, I see your predicament. You really need that treatment, and it does kind of fall within our guidelines. So okay, yeah. But
Christmas is good.
AI is not going to do that. AI is more likely to just do what you program it to do.
No.
And yeah, that way, two things: you save on an employee, their wage, and you're more likely to not have to pay out a premium. Not premium, not to have to pay out a claim. That's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great advertising for
I
UHC.
forgot. I got sick on these last night.
What's that?
Yeah.
Nicotine pouches. And
Lovely.
and I was just going to take one, but then I realized, I got really sick last night. And
Probably not a good idea.
yeah, but I knew that the nicotine would cycle out in 45 minutes, so I just felt like crap. And then I thought, this is a good thing, because when I was in high school, I used the chewing tobacco, the skulls, the dip,
Yeah.
all summer, and I was, but then one day I just took too much and I got really sick, and I never took it again, which was good. Also, I didn't like winter. I couldn't drink anything wintergreen for a long time because I was winter, And so I think I thought about it. I thought, I don't want to do this again. Although it tastes pretty good. It's like berry and mango flavors. But I really did feel sick yesterday. So I'm thinking maybe this will cut my habit. I won't do it. But then what I was doing, I was reaching for it, and I was going, okay. But
I have a book for you to read. I have a book for you to read. It stopped me smoking. I haven't smoked for 13 years.
Yeah. It's called Everybody Poops.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yes. Great. No, I
No.
wanted to, if the nicotine isn't too high, it's actually good. It's a great buzz, and it's,
Yeah, but no.
And there's this lawyer, and he goes, it's a similar substance. If you have this level of anxiety, it brings it down to here. Not kidding. That's what Rick Cato said about cocaine to his friend. That's
his daughter's a little anxious.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids. They're too expensive.
Don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Johnny Osprey says plot twist: the CEO pulled a Murdoch and had himself popped. Hey, I thought maybe plot twist: the CEO is a decoy and he's fine.
Oh, actually, he and his wife are separated. They live very close to each other, but they've been living separately for a few years. So that's
right.
How they have two sons, and I think.
And there was a threat. There was a bomb threat or something to the house 12 hours earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Friends everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This sounds really mean and cruel, but it was like if it's like one of these law and crime episodes, then you'll find out it's the wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was a narcissist, also. Yeah. I know someone that was misdiagnosed with cancer and died from the treatment. What? Really?
Ooh.
Oh, you could.
Oof. That's so bad. He probably gave the name Brian for his coffee, or maybe John Lennon. I mean, it's coming up on the December 8th anniversary of Lennon's NYC assassination. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. So Pearl Harbor was December 7th, but in Japan it was December 8th. So,
speaking of, tomorrow.
Yes. Oh, my favorite Beatles joke? It's very racist, but it's okay. Saying Merry Christmas isn't racist. MLS asked that. But so what's yellow and lives off dead Beatles?
What?
Yoko Ono.
True.
Fourth grade humor, man. Yeah.
I'll answer Bobby's question in a minute. I'll talk to Bobby's question in a minute. But you guys, because we'll finish up pretty shortly, what are you doing tomorrow on your channel, Ilya Dali?
We are going to be doing a stream remembering Pearl Harbor, and Max Mira, potentially Criminal Sean, not here, and Hella, and myself will be on and discussing the fateful day and the history and what how Japan rebuilt from World War II. Because we are allies now, believe it or not.
Hold on. Is that time there in the chat, right?
What time in the chat?
It says Saturday. It says EST Saturday 4 p.m.
Eastern.
4, not 6, right?
Shit, no, 6. Fuck.
It's 6 p.m. Eastern. He gets mixed up.
I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
I'll refix that.
Okay. Because I had it down. That's 8 a.m. Because I can do it. Like I can do it
It'd
earlier.
be very early for you.
No,
6 a.m.
6 is okay.
It's a Sunday morning, anyways.
Yep.
For me, yeah.
Sorry about that.
No,
he thinks in Western time.
I do, and I don't always make the conversion.
So it's not,
Weirdly enough, I'm better at converting into U.S. Eastern Standard Time than an American.
Why?
Yeah.
It's strange, isn't it? It's true. Now, Bobby says, Hella, we do have free basic healthcare. The problem is it works exactly like you guys' free healthcare. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. From what I can tell, it doesn't. Because we get taxed for it, right? And then it's done. And we go, if we need to, go to the public hospital, get all of our treatment, and walk out and not get a bill.
Oh.
That's not how yours works, right?
Yeah. In Japan, it's different. In Japan is you're going to pay either through your corporate or you're going to pay the national health insurance program. Everyone has to pay it. If you're over 40, you have to pay an additional $80 for for elderly support, whatever. Not for you, but for the elderly. And so it is based on the premium is kind of based on your income, so it's a social insurance tax. But then when you go for most treatments, it's a 20% copay, and those 20% of now here's the thing in the U.S. because you'll get these ridiculous bills. You don't get these these are all the treatments and the prescriptions are all approved and regulated by the Ministry of Health. You see, so you can't say, well, I'm going to. So if you want these, I forget the word, but stuff that's non-essential treatment, like I'm going to get a facelift, or I'm going to get I got to get a penis extension or whatever. That's on you, and you pay that.
On you.
But there's 20% copay, but then if you're older, it goes down like 15%, or if you're on disability, it could be like 10% or 0, and that applies to the medication. So the medications also, those prices are set. So this is why, even when we talk copay not all copays are the same. If Dali's paying like a 20% copay, but it's a ridiculous priced medication or treatment, that's pretty hell. Most of the stuff you get here are pretty reasonable. In fact, here's the weird thing. You can get a lot of items that are non-prescription, like you can get them at the drugstore. But you know that even with the copay, you go to the doctor, that same aspirin or whatever is way cheaper. And so that shouldn't incentivize people to stress the system, but they do it because, well, I'm not really paying for it. Well, you are kind of, but no, I only have to pay a 20%, so I'm just going to go there. But meanwhile, you just kind of tax the system. You also have it in the medical system with old people. They have nothing to do, and so what they do is they go to the local doctor's clinic, and they say, "Hey, guy, good to see you again." It'd be just like this. Why are we in the doctor's office? Well, I get to see my friends, and I'm 85. I'm going to get my checkup. All around the country, you're doing that. That's this freaking cost is like that. It's a very expensive coffee club that you're subsidizing. So yeah.
Good. Like having a good healthcare system is expensive. It's like I'll tell you right now that just as a normal taxpayer, I pay, I think it's about $1,000 a year of just Medicare levy, which is basic tax of like to support the public health system. And then on top of that, I pay for private health insurance of about $300 a month, right, to look after myself and the kid. So a bit more than that maybe, because I want like a higher level of care. And most things are covered for that. I choose what kinds of things I want to have covered. And that's really normal. Like most people have that who like have a job and things like that. If you don't earn over a certain amount, then you either don't pay anything and you write off the backs of those of us who do pay, or you pay just the lower tax level $1,000 a year. I'm really being very basic with that figure. It's around that, and it depends. It's scaled with your income, but then you don't think about it anymore, right? So
you also I don't think you have to think about whether you're employed or not, or whether you get coverage.
Yeah.
So the weird, strange thing in the United States is businesses over a certain size, it's on the onus of the business owner to provide health insurance, which is like kind of weird because and so that becomes an issue when people are looking for healthcare coverage. And yeah, you can argue, oh, there's Obamacare, Medicare, but end of the day, it's you have situations where people are going, oh, okay, my spouse or my husband has these healthcare benefits and they extend to, or they don't extend. I'm thinking that sometimes at a lower level, at a socioeconomic level of employment, those things, having the healthcare or not makes a difference. And I'm thinking, wow, that's something you wouldn't think about in a country where, okay, you're no longer gainfully employed, you go back on national health insurance, like no big deal, right?
Hey, David. Merry Christmas, Max. Is that okay to say, or is it racism?
No, it's racism if he said Happy Kwanzaa to me. So, yeah.
Actually, that reminds me. I'll be doing a Christmas stream probably in about a week, 10 days, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Max is, of course, invited.
Hey.
Yes, I'll tell you that I haven't worked the exact date out. I've got to talk to a few other guests and make sure they're all available. Yes, but of course, Max Hurrah is invited, and David may
remember December. Got to do the math. 1948. I always get the math off. Yeah, it's the 76th anniversary on the 23rd of December. It's the 26th anniversary. Is it what is it? The 76th anniversary of the execution of Hideki Tojo and 8 other Class A war criminals from the Tokyo Saiban Tokyo trials. They hung them on December 23rd. Yeah, but
wow.
But the reason why I think MacArthur did it was that was the birthday of, at that time, the crown prince, who later became the emperor. So it was Hirohito's son. So a lot of people say it was a message job from MacArthur saying, hey, listen, it could have been your family. That's why I'm hanging these guys on the, your son's birthday. Yeah. And that's why for years and years, the right wingers haven't been able to. Usually they go out in their vans and with, and scream and yell. It would not do for them to do it on he later became the emperor's or the birthday, right? It'd be bad form. So it's kind of funny.
Fascinating.
MacArthur was very smart.
Okay, so can I ask you questions? Because Young has sort of confused me a little bit here. EU, the US does have socialized healthcare called Medicare. Everyone who works pays into the bin and can access their healthcare when they
Turn to
age
65.
65. So what's that mean? Does that mean that you guys have what we have?
Kind of like we pay into it. It's like Social Security, but for health insurance. So if we get disabled or turn 65 or retire, then we get access to the Medicare insurance.
Now, hang on though. When you turn 65, you get to go to the doctor. Is that what that means?
And use that insurance.
But what about now?
We'd have to buy our own.
Okay, so that's not the same thing.
We're paying into it. We have to pay into it, but it's for use in the future.
It's for use in the future,
Yeah.
right? So it's different things. So basically,
A little bit.
A lot, because I can use it now,
Yeah.
right? So socialized healthcare called Medicare. Your Medicare is something that it's kind of like superannuation. Like you're putting money into it, like a bank, and later you can use it when you get old, right? But like Medicare here, it's actually called Medicare here. Medicare is for everyone to use all the time, and it's public healthcare. So that's different. It's just the way Young has worded it. It makes it sound like you guys have public healthcare free, available to everybody all the time.
Kind of. Well, for Medicare, I guess, yeah, you have to qualify for low income.
Yeah, you just have to qualify, or you still may have to pay.
But it was weird because I had this guy, a friend of mine, and he gets angry if I even and he was like really defending the American way, and he was going no, it's perfectly good, and he goes, what you do is you borrow a lot of debt, so then you qualify in terms of negative income for Medicare. Really, like that's you do that sort of moronic stuff in order to qualify for free health care. That doesn't sound very good.
Yeah, okay. So, and Young, and at any time if you're poor, I get it. So, right.
Here.
I was misunderstanding. So you have to
Medicare
be
and
like it's means tested.
Yeah.
But what's Medicaid?
Medicaid is the low income qualifier. Medicare is the old person one.
Well, what's Obamacare?
That's the Affordable Care Act. That's kind of the insurance I go through. I go to the Affordable Care Act market and pick my own plan there and pay for it.
Is it really confusing?
Yes. Like I'm going through it right now. I am insanely confused right now. I have absolutely no clue.
Okay,
what
because you're not a not intelligent man. Like, and that's one of the nicest things I've ever said to you.
Or you said I am intelligent?
I said you're not an intelligent man.
Okay, you're trying not to give me a compliment. Thank you. Yes, and then you have to does your work provide it? You have to select all these boxes, learn all these terms, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's a nightmare. And apparently something just happened. Let me go ahead and peruse the internet. And
what happened?
Check the
they found the backpack.
Yeah.
Fact check.
And the last time I fact checked.
In the park?
I'm not sure yet. What's this guy's name?
Well, hey, Pink Slime, how's it going? Ghosts, my sister lived in AZ and worked on the Hopi Reservation. She woke up in DST in AZ, drove into Navajo Reservation, which is on Standard, then onto Hopi, where it's DST again.
Hopi.
I don't get Hopi, all right. I don't get all your time zones, my God.
The Indian Reservation in Arizona, Hopi I guess, are they do daylight savings. So it's kind of, yeah, if you're traveling back and forth, it becomes an issue.
Okay, Young says, EU, you just described the US Medicare system. If you're over 65 and have Medicare, you can buy a supplemental private insurance as well. Can you? Okay.
They found the backpack, they believe was worn in they found it in Central Park.
Okay.
Max is in Japan, right? Is Japan's health system like EU, just described in Aussie? Is it like mine?
No, it's different. So, like what I indicated, you'll pay into a national health insurance premium or its corporate equivalent, and so for adults, generally from I don't know, from 18 to 65, you're generally, unless you have disability or special conditions, you have a 20% copay on treatment and prescriptions. Oh, for children up to, I don't know, up to 16 or so, healthcare is free.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah, it's free.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's free. I don't recall. I can double check on that, but it's just maybe incredibly nominal. So they have a system also. If you're an expecting mother, they give you something called, like, this handbook. It's something techo. I forget what it is, but every expectant mother gets it, and so they track your prenatal health and everything else.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know when they started it. Maybe from the I don't know before the war, but certainly after the war. Maybe from the late 1940s or something. And so the child rate, the deaths and miscarriages, and it dramatically went down. I mean, like
After
every
that,
civilized
yeah.
country should have, but sometimes you have civilized countries where you have, high infant mortality and things like that, and you're going, well.
Yeah.
So and so that starts at prenatal.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some people saying that's not a life, but they understand, like, you got to start that. So every expectant mother in Japan is eligible for that.
Wow.
And so I thought, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. But it's this little boshi. It's called boshi techo, and so and I don't know if it must be in other countries, but it's kind of it's good. You're bringing your for the regular checkups for the mother, and then for the child, things like that.
That's very interesting. Yeah, look, I mean, this is why I wanted to, part of the reason why I wanted to have this stream, because I've been wanting to talk about the US health system for a long time, and I haven't really had a good segue into asking people about it. And this shooting is sort of topical and people are interested in it, and then to see people's reactions to this guy being gunned down and the anger that it's brought to the surface amongst regular Americans, it's given me a good in to talk to you guys about the private health insurers and the state of the public health in America, because I question it all the time. I see people saying, I can't go to the doctor, I can't go to the hospital, this happened to my mum or my dad or my coworker. And yeah, I'm hearing things in chat now like that someone died or they couldn't afford something or other. And it just blows my mind because things are very different here. And I'm not saying by any means that we have the perfect system here at all. It's just very, very different. And I'd like to understand it. It seems to me that Americans aren't happy with the way it is. I don't know if you guys have ever been happy with the way it's been. It's as far as I've observed in my lifetime, I've never really known a time when Americans have seemed to be happy with their healthcare system. Am I wrong?
No.
Has it ever been really able to sustain the needs of the population?
No, I think it's probably better than some places like Canada, where you have to wait forever. Basically, you have cancer and you have to wait forever for like an operation or whatever.
But if you're in the higher levels of income and everything like that, that then is a non-issue. So you could be like a politician, like former Prime Minister Mulroney, and if you have an issue, then you just go down south. You go down to the United States. No, because money's not an issue. You're not on limited income or anything else. And so if that waiting and dying is for poor people, and
or in Canada, they just go ahead and euthanize you.
So and so if that border option, not south of the border, is not Mexico, but the United States wasn't there, then maybe these guys who are thinking in their own self-interest will go, oh yeah, maybe I have a rethink. But they can, that is the option that they're going to do. It includes education too. The Mulroneys and everyone, they're going to send their kids to Harvard, just like the Gores, and it's interesting if you track the Gore's children and everything, like the probability models of their kids all getting into Harvard, like it's like incredibly, like must be some amazing magic, just like Hillary Clinton's commodity trading record, way back in the day. Yeah, genius.
Okay,
Meanwhile,
guys,
there was some.
We have some news. Hang on.
What?
We have news. And
Yeah,
Lil
I told you
Pill is
that.
here. Hey, Lil Pill, my mega mod. Good to see you, love. The backpack has been found.
Oh, what kind of backpack? It was one of those cool ones, right?
Sorry, I'm
Peak
towering over
something.
you guys. I didn't realize I'd stuffed that up. Just a minute, save update.
Kind of did, but it's okay. I'm used to it.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Yes, we have news, guys.
From the search for the shooter who killed the CEO of United Healthcare on the streets of New York City.
Possible belongings
New
have
York
been
City.
discovered. Fox 4's Sean Rabb in studio with the latest. Sean.
Yeah, that's breaking in the last few minutes. Police have found a backpack in Central Park believed to be carried by the gunman who killed that United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson 3 days ago. That backpack found following a massive sweep of Central Park by police, along with their state and federal partners. And officers were standing next to a bag that was discovered in Central Park. The brown TJ Maxx shopping bag appears to have clothing inside, but not sure how it is related to the investigation just yet. An expanding investigation with police believing the shooter left New York early on.
Hey, that's
The shooter was seen on an e-bike leaving out of Central Park after the shooting, but without the backpack he was wearing when he shot 50-year-old Brian Thompson 3 times Wednesday morning outside a Manhattan hotel. Eric Jackson is the former special agent in charge of the Dallas FBI field office.
They're building just a dossier of any movement that they can tie to him, whether it turns out that it was the bus out of Georgia.
The shooter may have left the city the same way he came, on a Greyhound bus from Atlanta to New York 10 days before the from-behind ambush attack of the healthcare CEO. Captured on camera in places across the city, appearing always to pay with cash. Clear images of his face recorded in the lobby of the High New York City hostel. That's the hotel-like residence. One where he pulled his mask down and is smiling.
Hang on,
The clerk at
hang
that
on.
hostel said,
Is it not loud enough, guys?
It's loud
I
for
can
me.
make. No, email says it's not loud enough. So, hang on, let me try again.
as they were flirting, and she asked him to pull down his mask so she could see his face. And pictures of him at a Starbucks minutes before the shooting, where he purchased a bottle of water and 2 energy bars. Investigators recovering those items from the trash and testing for DNA. Eric Jackson believes authorities know more than they may be saying right now.
His universe is starting to get smaller, but you have to know that he did pre-planning. That means that he's he may have additional planning in place.
And Jackson says the search, which now
man
extends
was-
from New York to Atlanta, will, he
trolling you.
believes,
I hate
expand.
you,
Law
email.
enforcement nationwide is going to provide New York all the help that they can to bring this individual to justice, and that means coordinating and working for a nationwide search for this individual.
And as the search expands, some corporations scrubbing photos and bios of CEOs from websites, in particular insurance companies, even without yet knowing
look,
the motive.
guys, sorry.
The murder having
And
a
Iman,
ripple
you
effect.
suck.
Are following some breaking news right now in the assassination of that.
Do you want me to play a different one now that I've hurt your eardrums and I'll put it on normal? Chat?
You hurt their earballs.
I'm sorry about your earballs.
CEO of United Healthcare. A source tells ABC News that police have just discovered what is suspected to be the backpack carried by the suspected shooter of Brian Thompson. The bag was found in Central Park, where the police had deployed officers and drones.
Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger is there where police are still looking for the evidence, in particular that backpack now, Josh.
Are you
Yeah,
serious,
Bill, this
beautiful?
is an enormous
He was
break
not
in the
good
case.
looking.
This is exactly why police were searching here in the park really over the last several days, and really specifically in the last couple of hours with
no,
a
I can't
huge
see
show
it.
of force. And as you said, a source close to the law enforcement source familiar with the investigation telling ABC News that the backpack the shooter was wearing when he committed this crime Wednesday morning and was believed to have ditched in the park, that bag has now been recovered. What's in it, we don't know. What type of evidence is in it that could help identify him, still we don't know, and the police are just starting to get through it. But of course, it's an enormous break in this very difficult case. The search for New York's most wanted man took flight today from the roof of an NYPD drone truck as high-tech cameras scanned every inch of heavily wooded sections of Central Park, assisted by dozens of cops on the ground.
Oh, look
The
at all-
needle in this
okay, hang on,
haystack,
that
the
was funny.
backpack the shooter was wearing when he scanned every inch of heavily
wait.
wooded sections of Central Park,
What do you think? Okay, what do you think all those cops are necessary for? Like, they're just going for a stroll.
Looks like the bottom half of their uniform is the Patriot Front's outfit.
The what?
Patriot Front's outfit. They got the khakis.
Oh, well, that's their other job, you know.
Yeah.
They're on the
They just need
flag,
to change their
false
top.
flag operations by the government.
They're just like, let's go for a walk through the park. Okay, can you stand next to me? I want to stand next to him. He's the most popular one.
I know.
It's a field.
Can we
It's,
hold
it's a school
hands?
field trip. Yeah.
Really
It
is.
is.
We're gonna go to
Don't go
Central
off
Park.
the path because
Assisted by
there's
dozens
nothing
of
to see.
cops on the ground.
Don't walk on the
needle
grass.
in this haystack, the backpack the shooter was wearing when he gunned down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson early Wednesday morning. Cameras captured the shooter riding his bike into the park with the bag a few minutes later. But when a camera reacquired him exiting the park on the Upper West Side, the bag was gone. Police believe it contains important evidence and that he ditched it somewhere in the park.
Now, as we speak, we have a huge canvass going on in Central Park. We still have
Huge
not found the
canvas.
backpack, and so we're doing a
She
full
albino.
sweep of Central Park to find that backpack, which we believe he dropped in Central Park.
Also today,
Central
detectives
Park.
concluded the shooter skipped town from the bus station at the George Washington Bridge. Top brass taking to
He's so
national
pretty.
news to get his picture out across
looks
the
like
country.
Dave Franco.
We have him in a taxi cab, and the taxi cab takes him up to 178th Street and Broadway, which, as we know, is a Port Authority bus center. Those buses are interstate buses. That's why we believe he may have left New York City.
Hundreds of detectives have analyzed untold hours of footage from across the city, turning up a trove of images of the shooter since he arrived
where
on a
are the
Greyhound
cameras?
bus late last month. But he was always mindful of cameras and wore his mask and hood to obstruct every view of him, except for one. A few days before the shooting, as he flirted with a woman at the Upper West Side youth hostel where he was staying. She convinced him to show her his smile, hence the only workable image of the alleged killer's face.
This was a fully masked person that we had to unmask and use good old-fashioned police work. We are on the right road to apprehend him and bring him to justice.
Now New York wants you to unmask.
And again, the police say,
now
according
they
to
want
law
you to have
enforcement
no
sources,
mask
that
on.
they have hit pay dirt just in the last couple of hours here in Central Park, finding the key piece of evidence they have been searching for, that backpack. Of course, they now have to process what's inside it. Police also revealed today they lifted DNA off a water bottle they believe the shooter had been drinking from.
Right,
They're
Ronnie.
processing that evidence as well. They seem to be closing the gap in terms of identifying the suspect. But as long as that takes, he seems to be getting farther and farther away. We're live in the park tonight. Josh Einiger, Channel 7.
Oh, please. Okay. So, yeah, he's probably shaved his head by now. And his eyebrows. And his eyebrows are probably well and truly gone. I think the woman in the hostel is going to become famous. I think she is the next influencer. She's probably got a YouTube channel already, TikTok, all that kind of stuff.
2 weeks for OnlyFans.
He was flirting with her. She's probably a hottie.
Hottie
Probably
biscotti.
a hottie biscotti.
I can't wait for
Alrighty.
her crypto coin to drop.
Oh.
All right. I don't know. I feel like we're going to be left hanging. Okay. Here is my prediction. There will be no arrest. Nothing's going to happen. People, nothing to see here. Look the other way. Nothing. Maybe it was a hot tour ago. Hey, apparently, isn't she making money on stocks or something?
She's in
She
hot
did
water.
a scam. It's 20 minutes. It went.
Boom.
So
Really?
she's working
Went
with
up
a
quite a
team
bit.
of. Okay, I can't say you get deleted, but it's funny where like Howie Mandel's cousin and these crypto scammers and CoffeeZilla did some nice coverage on it. CoffeeZilla was in on a call and they got so pissed off they hung up on him. They kicked him out. And then he got a call from her entertainment lawyer, and he kept messaging. He goes first. He said, "Can we talk privately?" And CoffeeZilla said, "No, this is a live, investigation. I'm not going to do something stupid like that. They always want to talk to you alone.
Yeah.
Don't do that, Sal. They want to get you. They just want to get you alone, and then they want to
just
do
want a
nasty
meeting
things
with
to
her.
you. And they'll say, "I never did it. I never did it." So, the messages, yeah.
Yeah, so she went from a hawk to a pump and dump.
And then when CoffeeZilla got kicked out of that, it was on Twitter Spaces. Some other guy followed up with the questions, and then she said something like, "Oh, well, I'm really tired. It's time for bed. See you next Tuesday.
Need my beauty sleep.
See you next Tuesday." That's what she is.
See you next Tuesday. Hey, beautiful, wonderful. We need to see. So, are you talking about the hostel lady? Is there an interview of her or not? I'm sure if there was, it'd be like trending all over the place. So
I don't think so
As soon
yet.
as it's there, for sure. Like we are on it. We're on it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Sean's because Sean is playing the sentencing of Melody Farris.
Rude.
I can't wait. In fact, I'm actually legit thinking of playing her trial.
I got a new phone.
Because it is the best trial and we all kind of missed it because Boone was playing at the same time and Rick Allen and a bunch of other things were all happening whilst that trial was on.
Oh, wait. I got a background for Sal. I don't know. Maybe this is bad. You'll get banned. Is this terrible?
No.
That's an Imperial Japanese Navy flag. I know the flag. No, because actually you have Rising Sun flags like the Maritime Self-Defense Force and even other things. It's terrible, but they all look the same. So Koreans will freak out because they will tell people that is just like a Nazi swastika. I don't care what you call it. I'm like, no, it isn't.
Banned forever.
Love it.
I didn't watch her trial, but now I'm interested. I figure lots of people will be interested now because she's going to throw her son under the bus. And I thought the son was guilty all along. Guilty and a narcissist.
Who?
Yes.
Oh.
The woman.
We'll watch her in a minute. We're going over to Sean's to watch. This is a really good trial. And I only saw bits of it, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a 3-week trial. And I don't think much is going to be happening over the Christmas period. So maybe we'll watch it. I'll see if Sean's going to play it, though. Because I did say
me
Sean,
is like
you
what
should play
Japanese chat looks like.
it. Oh, God. All right, see you tomorrow, Max.
You like hurrah?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Check out 6 p.m.
Tomorrow.
Eastern tomorrow, Pearl Harbor stream.
6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, we will be together again and with Sean on Dali's channel. So make sure you're all there for that. Thank you, everyone, for today. It's been awesome. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you to the new members. Thank you for popping in.
Yes.
Max, much appreciated.
Thanks.
And as always, Ilya Dali. And yeah, if there's any updates on this, I'll let you know. Hey, P.S. also, Hearsay for Days on Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern. I think I'll include this as one of the topics, and we'll look at some of the comments from all of the comment sections. Also, we'll be covering the Boone sentencing and the Hannah
sentencing?
Kobayashi. The Boone sentencing.
Oh yeah.
The Hannah Kobayashi.
That's weird. Her
situation.
dad committed suicide.
Yeah.
But he jumped.
Spooky. Yeah. All right, time for the song. Time for the song. Time for the song.
Her name was Ella. She was an Aussie. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. The co-host is Donnie and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud and because she's an 803.